Hey guys, SeanB here, and today I want to make a quick video about Steel Fortress B10 and the free-to-play Steel Fortress B10 guide on the official Summoners YouTube channel. I am not very happy about that video. In fact, I am angry enough to make this video.
Rending Megan, the water mystic witch.
I love Evan and Seppi. I met them before in real life in a Com2us event, and they're cool people, and they have made so many great videos on the official channel. But the previous video about Steel Fortress is so wrong that I don't want this information to be spread any further, and they should really reconsider that video altogether. First, they recommend Megan as your first buff blocker, and they spend a good amount of time on Megan. Megan's skill 2 has strip and buff block, which is correct, but Megan is a water unit, which means if you use Megan against a wind boss, she will glance half the time, and when you glance, you don't land the debuff. You can strip, but you will not land the debuff. As you can see right there, I strip, okay, I strip, but I glance, and I didn't land the buff block debuff. And because of the elemental disadvantage, this will happen half the time. You don't want something in there that only gonna work half the time, right? And another statement in the video said by Evan. Listen to this.
And also because she's at an elemental disadvantage, you're going to want to make her accuracy as close to 100 as humanly possible.
In more than 6 years, I have never heard that statement from anyone, okay? I've never heard that max accuracy can help you to sort of lower the elemental disadvantage effect on your unit. I've never heard that. But if it's true, maybe all the Perna that crit on my water tank all have max accuracy.
Always has been.
Because I don't think Perna knows that she's fire, but she crit on water all the time. So maybe every Perna in the game that crit on my water all the time has max accuracy. Because according to the Summoners official channel, you will lower the effect of elemental disadvantage by having max accuracy. It blows my mind how they can say that. And what if the noobs believe that it's true? That if you have max accuracy, your element will not matter anymore? I just don't get it. I just don't get it. And they spend a very good amount of time talking about Megan and how Megan is better. And they didn't give my Gina, they didn't do Gina enough justice. They actually say that the defense buff is gonna matter so much more when they're already using Fran in the team that give you protection against the boss. You don't need Megan in here. I'm using a violent Gina to make sure that if she miss, because the boss has 15% resistance by default, I will have that skill back immediately. And I don't have to rely on Lauren's strip because she may not use it. But Gina, if there's a buff left on the boss, the defense buff, she will strip if she violent and Raok give her cooldown reduction with team up. She will strip the defense buff as well, which is really awesome. But I've never heard such nonsense that Megan is better in this dungeon. It's mind-blowing. They talk about having 2 blocker in the dungeon to make it consistent. I agree. I totally agree that you can definitely use another blocker here. You can replace one of my rogue with whatever blocker you have, starting from Agar, the Dark Vampire Lord, Zinc, the Dark Living Armor, Chiwu Pongbek, the Pioneer, or Brick, the Light Pirate Captain. They're all pretty decent option. I think one of the best right now is using Gina and Brick, the Light Pirate Captain, because he has a skill 3 that block buff, and when it's a skill 3, the unit will more likely to use it than a skill 2. That's why unit like Chiwu, Pongbek, Agar rarely use the skill 2 or remember they even have a skill 2, which is quite annoying. But it's just how it is. You can also replace Lauren with Pang, the Light Rakshasa that was HOH recently, so a good amount of people will have her. To prolong the block buff by Gina right here, which is only 1 turn, Lauren is here to make sure the boss will never move, so that the 1 turn block buff will be good enough. But you can use Pang to prolong the block buff. But is not as safe. This is probably the safest team that I can use. It's not fast, but I'm okay with it for now until they give us something that have block buff and skill 1. And the video...
So if you chose Zinc, amazing. If you didn't, that's okay too, because you can actually sub him out for the Dark Vampire Lord. The reason we're recommending Zinc though, is because the Dark Vampire Lord's cooldown is kinda long.
And then, I make this mistake before. I call it a free-to-play guy, but sometimes I feature a non-free-to-play unit. It's my bad. And I saw it in this video too, and I was mildly triggered by the fact that they were showing Zinc in most of the run and called a free-to-play team. And they barely mention Argon.
You can also use Argon, the Wind Vampire, for this one too.
The second monster on your...
And that triggered me a little bit. So now I know what you feel. I'm very sorry. I did it in the past. I promise I will try not to do it again, but it triggered me. Now I know what you feel. Seeing Zinc in all the example run and Zinc carry the Megan in most of the run and they call it a free-to-play team. No, Zinc is not free-to-play, okay buddy? So right there I missed the block with Gina. With Megan, you probably miss all the time because you can have max accuracy for all you want, but the base 15% resistance is still gonna be there and it's gonna annoy the shit out of you. So my Gina has violent runes. I have 2 rogue to make sure that she get the skill back almost immediately right here. She missed and then she now land the block again. And that is just my safety net in this dungeon. Just don't use Megan, please. And there was no mention of the Wind Witch in the video, which I think they know now by reading the YouTube comments. But the Wind Witch is also pretty good. Her AI is probably not the best. I have seen people complaining about her AI, but she's also a more obtainable unit, being a Wind 3-star unit. And she has block buff in her skill 3, which means she will more likely to use it as well. Let me show runes on my team. You don't need to be this fast. I know this is quite fast for most players out there, but the boss himself is not that fast. So you can be at 200 speed and you're gonna do just fine, to be honest. Same over here. You don't have to be this fast. You just have to be faster than the boss. And with attack by reduction and double team up, you're good to go. The rogue can be, I think this is okay. This is not too crazy. This might be a little bit better with more attack and crit damage. This might be more mid-game, late-game-ish kind of rune. This is pretty much good enough. There are people that can actually access game file with their IT magic. And they figure out that the boss resistance is not high. You only need 25 accuracy for the boss. And this is more than enough. Like I land my block buff most of the time. Unless 15% resistance kick in. Which happen everywhere. Doesn't matter. So you don't need high accuracy for this dungeon. Like this is more than enough for this dungeon. I've tried many different types of speed run in this dungeon, but RNG and AI really stop you from doing so with high success rate. So I just have to go back to this kind of team. I've used Crow to speed up the run as well, but it's not as consistent. I want the witch to be able to block immediately after she missed, and she does miss. So I really want to just use double rogue and improve the runes on my double rogue. Maybe I want to replace Fran with something else and use Wheel Rune on my team, but that is a little bit more investment than I want. So this team right now, consistent, a minute plus run, not the most amazing thing to farm. I farm a lot of rune farming now, and also I just do more Punisher crit, because getting that perfect type artifact, it's gonna take me a while. Okay, which bam. If I take the defense buff away, the shield will break immediately, which is awesome. So half the time I have to have like a longer run because I missed the defense buff, but it's okay. Better than Megan missing the boss, you know, all the time because freaking wind element. Alright, this has been me complaining. I'm not sure, but I just couldn't take it. You know, if that was a video from a random YouTuber that I don't know, make their first video and they make their first mistake, okay, cool. You know, people learn. But this is coming from the official YouTube channel, which people can see. People can go into the community tab, the media tab in game and see this video being promoted. and all the people who watch may get a different understanding of the boss altogether, and they build a wrong team, and then they fail, or they come to my stream and be like, yo, but you know, Evan told me to do this, and I have to correct them, which it trigger me, okay? And they have all the time to make guide for this dungeon. It has been what, almost 3 weeks now since the content launch, and they barely have enough understanding for this dungeon, which trigger me so much more. And it's the official channel, okay? You have all the resources, all the guides available in the company. We as content creator out here have to figure everything from scratch to see if it works or if it doesn't work. They have time, resources, and in-house knowledge, but they dare say that in the video. Oh my god, like, I don't know, maybe I'm complaining too much. So I hope you had fun watching, and maybe subscribe to the channel for more content like this, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Also, because she's at an elemental disadvantage, you're going to want to make her accuracy as close to 100 as humanly possible.